Hi, I'm Clara. I've always been into photography, snapping pictures of just about anything that caught my eye in our little coastal town. I got a thing for old vintage stuff. It's like they tell stories. Anyway, one day I wandered into this tiny antique shop downtown, just browsing, and I stumbled upon this ancient camera. It was one of those that looked like it could have a ton of history. Super cool, right? So of course, I bought it. I thought it'd add some pizzazz to my collection, and maybe give my photos that classic vibe I love so much. The first time I took it out was at our town's festival. Everyone was there, and it felt like the perfect moment to try out the camera. I started taking pictures of friends, the food stalls, the whole festive scene. But when I looked at the first few snapshots, something was off. The pictures had this strange, almost creepy glow to them. People's faces looked a bit, I don't know, haunted. But I just figured it was because the camera was old, and maybe had some funky lens or something. I didn't think much of it at the time. Just kept clicking away, enjoying the day. After I developed those festival photos, things got weird fast. Like, one of the guys I took a picture of slipped and broke his leg the next day. And then a lady's cat, which I'd snapped at the festival, went missing. Just vanished. It was freaking me out because all this bad stuff happened right after I took their photos. I thought, no way is this a coincidence, right? So I dug around a bit about the camera's past. Turns out it used to belong to this super reclusive photographer guy, who people said was into some creepy, dark art stuff. His camera subjects had this nasty habit of running into fatal accidents. I had to know for sure if it was the camera, So I set up a little experiment. I took a photo of a vase in my living room. Just a simple, harmless photo. I waited and watched. And man, not even 5 minutes later, that vase just exploded. Shattered into a million pieces, and nobody was anywhere near it. My heart was pounding like crazy. I couldn't believe it, but it was all happening. This camera wasn't just old, it was cursed, and I was holding on to a nightmare. I was completely overwhelmed, but also prepared to face whatever this cursed camera was going to throw at me. I figured the best way to test it was to take a risk on myself. Likewise, I set up the camera, took a deep breath, and snapped a selfie. Almost right away, I started seeing things, like visions or something. I saw this scary accident happening to me and my little sister at the beach. It felt so real. I just knew I had to do something. I grabbed my sister and told her we needed to change our plans, to stay away from the beach. She thought I was losing it, but I convinced her. And man, am I glad I did. Later, we heard about a bad accident right where we were supposed to be. We would have been right in the middle of it. Thereafter, I knew what I had to do with that camera. I took it straight to the pier, threw it as far as I could into the ocean. Watching it sink, I felt this huge weight lift off me. I learned a lot about fate and messing with things you don't understand. Sometimes it's better not to know what's coming,